Hey guys, this is Andy McCann coming to you from Woodstock, Georgia, where I own CrossFit the Garage and a couple other businesses. We're actually into landlording is the primary thing. CrossFit and this gym thing is what I do because I just am passionate about health and fitness. Though it doesn't really pay the bills. That's what going into technical sales and buying real estate did. So if I can give you some financial advice, follow Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and follow Dave Ramsey, the Get Out of Debt guy. Follow those guys' principles, and you will do well for yourself just be smart about the things that you do. Don't overreach. Okay, so I am late in this podcast. I should have made this yesterday. Today is Monday the 26th. It is an ice day, and this is the day that'll break a lot of you guys because it's Monday is the biggest day for people to go and work out, and for us at the gym, it's the biggest our attendance day. So not only is it just known, but our gym trends with that as well. So today, Monday, could break a lot of people also because it's January 26th. So January is kind of like in the books. It's almost done. We've had 3 weeks of it. 3 weeks is typically when people fall off. So what will kill this? The inconsistency for sure, and a bunch of other things. I'm going to kind of go through that with you, and I've got some ideas for you on being consistent and how to reach your goals. So I'm going to hammer through this and then post it right away. Right now it's 8:45 a.m. So you'll see how long does it take for Andy to make a podcast and get it out. Probably, I'm going to say 1 hour. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so yes, it is true. Right now is the death of many people's health and fitness journeys. And it's things like, I got busy. Or like today, life changed and I couldn't get it back in my routine. It's not necessarily I'm not, being lazy. It's just that the non-negotiables got negotiated and you let that happen. So you need to watch out for the scope creep of everything else. Yes, it is important. And yes, you should prioritize, but I think you could do it wisely. For example, I typically will go work out at 6 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. But like today, right now, Evan and Levi and Evie are home for an ice day. And well, they're not going to go anywhere today. But normally, if they're home, they're going to go to either the 8:30 a.m. class or the 4 p.m. class. So I know I'm going to do some working out. But I know that being with my family is important. So I will edit the working out to overlap it with the other thing that is more important, being with my family. So therefore, I get to do them both. Now, usually it's only Evan that goes to the gym with me. The other two go do something different. But that's the thing is don't negotiate for the things that aren't supposed to be negotiated. Instead, weave them together if you can. All right, so by this time, you guys are thinking, I need to eat less. That's the key, isn't it? No, it's not necessarily eating less. It's eating different. I eat more calories now than I ever have in my life. I eat something like 4,000 calories a day. Normally, I'd be like 2,400 calories, but I'm on this carnivore kick with Evan, and he used it to blow away this Crohn's diagnosis. And I don't know, I've just went along with him to support him, and I really enjoy it. So I'm sticking to it. So is it calories? No, I think sometimes you'll find that you're under eating, and most importantly, you're under eating protein and real food. So you may think to yourself, I'm going to give up on total calories, but then you keep the Twinkies and the whatever. And it really shouldn't be that way. You should give up on the crap food and eat more protein and real food. So what is a real food? I mean, anything that's not processed. So a banana, you peel it, that's real food. Now, I don't eat bananas, but you can. Right now, all I'm eating is basically protein and fat. Every once in a while, I'll throw in an avocado or some sweet potato, but weirdly, every time I eat those, it upsets my stomach. So, as my wife will say, is it because I don't have the enzymes anymore to digest that? Or is it actually bad for me? I don't know the answer. I'm not a doctor. I just slept at a Holiday Inn Express, so this is what I do. All right. The next thing that'll get you, doing workouts with no plans or progressions. So, it's not that actually, let me back it up and say it this way. The gym, CrossFit Garage, is a great hack to the plan and progress that you're making because we come up with a plan. You literally just have to walk in and the coaches will guide you through everything. I tell people this all the time. If you show up 4 days a week and let me edit your diet a little bit, as long as you half-ass every workout or more, I promise you a year from now, you'll be fitter. Now, the reason is consistency counts. And also when you half-ass it, you're going to build up your half-ass ability. And so in like 6 months, your new half-ass ability will be way more than your old half-ass ability. So anyway, it just will get you fitter. So have a plan. And now I'm going to kind of deviate. progression, and I guess what I normally said right there was like, what's going on and how am I gaining that skill? That's what a coach is for. But there is another option, and I got this tab up because I wanted to talk about it. So if you're interested in gaining a skill, then we have these progressions built into Wodify. So typically, or not typically, before, Wodify had this for your progressions for your belt system. So they sell Wodify to karate and MMA and all that stuff, and they have belts. And so you would progress from your white belt to black belt and so forth. Or, well, I guess white belt, brown belt, yellow belt, whatever. And then eventually black belt. So I built into this the things that people had asked me, like, hey, can you help me get A? So let's go with this strict pull-up. So in progressions in Wodify, you just tell me, Andy, sign me up for, let me tell you what they are. Strict pull-up, double unders, rope climb, kipping pull-up, toes to bar, handstand push-up strict, bar muscle-up, ring dips, handstand walk. So these are the ones I had built out so far based on goals that we did, I guess, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And so let's say you're like, Andy, I want to get actually, you know what? Let me do kipping pull-up. So pull-up kipping. What do I do? So there are 5 levels to this. And let me go and manage a level and give you an idea of what happens. So let's say right now there's strength. You have to have the strength, the coordination, the kip and the pull, the motion and the mastery. So let's go with strength. So if I click on that, it tells me, hey, skills to master for the strict pull-up. Focus on raw strength for your strict pull-up. So the goal is 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps. Yes, I know I can't do pull-ups, but it's not pull-ups. It's of the stuff that's coming up, right? So dead hangs. So you're going to do some dead hangs. You're going to do some scap pull-ups. You're going to do hollow body and arc holds and ring rows, right? So you're going to be doing that stuff to get to the ability to have strength for several pull-ups. So this is building that core strength. If you can't dead hang from a pull-up bar for 20 seconds, then there's no way you're getting, I don't know, like 4 pull-ups because you literally can't do it. Your hands won't hold on, so it doesn't work. Anyway, so we have this built in there. Next one would be like the kip and the pull. If I clicked on that, it's going to give you things you can do. So you would use your phone and the app, Wodify app, and then click on progression, whatever one you're in, and follow the progression, and then promote yourself when you get done so that you can go on to the next thing. So everything's got like 5 or 6 levels in it. And anyway, so those are the progressions. All right, next thing that kicks you out is you treat sleep like it doesn't matter. So right now, it's a nice day, and you probably slept in. That's awesome. How much sleep are you actually getting throughout the week, throughout the months? Most people don't get enough. They say it's between 7 and 9, so they land on 8. Is it that? Everybody's body is different. Some people, I know, like a guy that I played D&D with, Jay, I think he said he sleeps 4 hours a night, and I think he's like 48 or maybe close to that. So he's still in this range where he just doesn't need sleep. And there are people designed like that. Now me, I'm going to get like 8 to 10 hours now. For whatever reason, my body is craving a little bit more. Typically, I wake up at 6 a.m. no matter what. But if I go to bed like at 8, then I'll probably wake up at 5. If I go to bed at 10, I'm waking up at 6. So you need to treat sleep like it matters and make sure you get enough. One of the worst things you could be doing is scrolling or drinking caffeine later on in the evening. All right, so this one right here is the killer for many folks. Wodify has gamified this system, and so they do have a thing called streaks. And so many people feel like I'm either all in or I'm not doing it at all, right? If I missed a day, screw it, I'm out. And there's streaks in Wodify. They agree, right? No, Wodify streaks is did you come at least once this week? So it's really not that tight of a streak, but at least it's helping you build momentum. And I like the way they do this because the all or nothing mentality is dumb. Life just doesn't work that way. Like today, did anybody want to go work out with ice? I mean, it's actually not that bad. My driveway is a bit sheer, but I've got shading and a slope, so I know I'm going to be icier longer than most. But I don't mind driving in my grass, so I just take 2 wheels, put them in the grass, and drive down the driveway in the grass, kind of, right? And that keeps everything together. But the idea that, you know, the streak really, really, really matters, it doesn't. Now, I know I say it like, hey, show up 4 days a week. Yeah, that's a streak, sort of. But what I'm saying is, if 1 week you came in once, that's okay. Now come in 4 or 5 times next week, right? It's okay. Just keep going. It's the consistent investment inside of yourself, not the strict, rigorous completionist. It's not that. I know they're very similar, but it's not the same thing. So don't worry about all in or all or nothing mentality. Let some of it go. but make it a priority and show up, right? So don't let it just go by the wayside. Okay, so another podcast I'm going to do right after this one, so I have it prepared, is about the intended stimulus. I'm going to hit that again because many of us are getting on board with it, but we're not really sure. So this point right here is about too much intensity. So I'll give a good example. Craig was trying to do RX every time. So his intensity level was not very intense and according to the stimulus. It was intense, like the workout was really tough. It was too heavy, it was too long and all that, right? The other way to do it is you go into hot and heavy. So good examples would be like Louis and Jonathan Cruzado. They'd always hit a workout too fast and then let an old guy like me pass them by. Once they learn to relax that too fast just a bit, man, they blow me out of the water. It's not even a competition. It's just hilarious, right? So a little bit of holding back is healthy for you. So in this idea, what I'm trying to get out to you is intensity for the sole sake of hitting it hitting it hard every day or as much as possible is not sustainable. So CrossFit's methodology, constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity, I put in there sometimes. I think the better idea is to identify what high intensity is. If you look at it on a sliding scale of your, not very intense, you're intense, and then your high intensity, there's 3 levels. And so in those 3 levels, that's 33% of the time it is not very intense. 33% of the time it's pretty intense or regular intense, and then 33% of the time it's high intensity. So high intensity technically starts around 66%, right? Or you can divide it up into fourths and create more categories, and that's 75%, up there is high intensity. So what does it mean? So from 76 to 100 is high intensity. Does it mean it needs to be 100%? No. That's what I'm saying is there is a level in which you could push to maintain, and our goal is the minimal viable dose for the maximum output. So I want to show up and eat and move enough to get the maximum output with the most minimal inputs. So that's a pretty tricky scale, right? So on the flip side, if you were competing in CrossFit, you want maximal inputs. Give it everything you can to eke out even more results, right? But they come with diminishing returns. So I want the minimum most input that I can give that gives me the maximum most output. So those supply and demand curves move and slide. So if you look at some of the people that like to train extra, is it good for them? Sure, if that's what they want to do. Is the effect they're getting working? Yes, for sure. Is it the same as showing up for the first hour? No. That first hour you're there, it does a lot of stuff. After that, it moves the needle some, but not nearly as much. For example, the first bit of food you eat moves the needle a lot. When you eat the ice cream, it doesn't move the needle at all, or very tiny bit, right? So the biggest input is those major things that you do. It's how you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect, right? But in the working out, it's the same thing. So too much intensity can be bad. Not enough is not great. And somewhere in the middle on the higher end is good. What is that for you? I don't know. You'll have to figure that one out for yourself, but there it is. Okay, so this next point is a big one for me. If you're a young buck, then you don't feel this yet, but you ignore mobility, flexibility, and your joint health, and that's going to catch up to you eventually. It is true. You can do CrossFit and take an easy day and use that as kind of a mobile, flexible day. Yes, that is true. You can do that. But if you're going to spend all this time moving and getting warmed up and getting loose, why not take 5 minutes to roll out, to stretch a little bit? Dude, it is so important. So they did one of the guys did a percentage study. So they said, hey, if you do heavy lifting with CrossFit, your numbers will go up. And it's true. Your numbers go up about 20% if you put in extra heavy lifting work. That's a fact. They've seen it. One of the guys said, hey, is it true that if I do mobility, which is a lot easier to do than lifting heavy, right? Maybe not as fun. I don't know. But if I did mobility work for my gym, what would happen? And his gym's numbers across the board went up by 20%. So again, where was the other up? Well, it's just coming in doing CrossFit. Strength, mobility, it's going to move the needle. It's going to help. So do it. But I guess if I had to focus on one or the other, I would focus on my joints because I'm getting strength inside of CrossFit. I'm not really getting a lot of after mobility in the workout because I'm working out. So I need to be done. I need to move slowly. I need to hold positions. Anyway, don't ignore that. Keep it on your list and find something for you that needs to happen. So many of us, especially guys, are like, hey, my shoulders are tight. Do you do anything after the workout or before, but after is better, to help that? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, then your shoulders are probably always going to be tight. So you need to do something. Okay, so another reason that you guys, this is the time where people give up on their health and fitness is because they lose focus on their why. They're just like, well, I should go work out, so I'll go do that. But you need to have a good solid why. And this goes back to some of the early podcasts. You need to know your why. My why is something around the idea of, I want to be healthy and fit enough to coach my kids in soccer. Now, do they have to play soccer? No. It's a sport that they're involved in, and I'm active and out there. So could it be wrestling? Sure. Could it be pole vaulting? Sure. Could it be CrossFit? Sure. Could it be in adventure racing? Yes. The point is, I'm an active grandfather that my children like and my grandchildren like, because if they don't like me, I can't show up, right? And I'm healthy and fit enough to do all the movements and run around and not be the weak link in the plans of whatever we're going to do. Hey, let's go climb Stone Mountain. We can't. We're bringing in Grandpa Andy, and he's just a fat bastard. He won't make it up. Actually, I guess at Stone Mountain, they've got the gondola, so I could just go up that. Or gondola, or however you say that. Okay. So this is a tricky thing, man. It is January 26th. People are going to want to quit, and you don't want to. But, Andy, what can I do? Aha, of course I have ideas here. Create those non-negotiables with a positive statement of who you are into the future. Make them specific. So they're goals, right? I train 3 times a week, no matter what. Right? 3 times a week isn't tough. I mean, it's hard to not skip, right? So put in 5 days. That's what I do. I put in 5 days a week, and sometimes I get 3, but that's what it is. I get 3 days a week, even if it's going to be like, dogs, let's go for a really long walk. You could use that one. I walk daily. I don't know. You know my theory. Well, if you've been listening, you know my theory on this. Doing nothing is bad. Moving is okay. So let's move. That'd be walking. But then there's exercising. Hey, went for a jog. That's okay too. But I like the idea of training because it brings you to a whole nother level. So I would say something like, I walk daily. I train 3 times. What's what I said above? I train 3 times a week. That's exactly what I did say. So I would say that. So the other one, I eat protein at every meal, non-negotiable. That's what I do. I do this thing. I am a healthy person. I make healthy choices. I choose protein. Now, I know some of you are like, do you have to eat protein? Dude, I'm with you. I think if there's me who can live on protein and fat, there has got to be, and there's a country, India, right, of people who don't eat protein. I guess they eat fat, but they don't really eat protein. And do they make it? Yes, totally fine. So there are body dynamics that don't kind of follow along those. I get it. But if you're looking for health and fitness and you're looking for performance, there's literally no better food than eating yourself some red meat, in my opinion. So this one's a bit tricky, and it goes along the lines with food. I think if I could give you some advice, it would be hire one of the coaches at the gym. So Coach Josiah, Coach Jennifer, Coach Matt, hire one of them to help you with food just for like 2 or 3 months. You will learn a lot, and you could take that with you. But many of us don't really understand what we're eating for. And I would say eat for life, eat for recovery, eat for performance. So what does that mean? A great example would be Evan. He said, hey, this food is killing me. I got to do something else. I'm going to do this lion diet. I said, sure, I'll go along with you. He ate for recovery to become a better living, functioning human. I ate to go along with a lonely journey. So I made a great choice for him. I made a really bad choice for my own body. This could have wrecked me. I had no idea. But I think any parent would say it. I would go down way before I'd let my son go down. So if they said, Andy, we need both your kidneys for Evan, I'd be, hell yeah, let's do it. That's just, I mean, if you're not a parent, it's hard to understand. You would do that. Yes, I know the other kids would be like, Dad, oh no, me. But I would do it for them. It's just how you are. Well, I suppose that's not true. Not all parents are like that. I'm like that. And I'm like that with my friends. I stole this from a book. I really like this saying, friends don't keep score. They just show up. There's no better friendship than I have than my family. So of course I show up first for them, even if it means that's it. If I had to, I would. Okay. So eat for recovery, eat for performance, focus on proteins and salts and real foods. Don't just go for calories. I don't eat for calories, yet I eat 4,000 calories a day. Oh, man. I think another one is people move too quick. I guess in today's world with quick scrolling and quick answers and whatnot, they don't really take the time. So when somebody jumps into CrossFit, they are like, hey, I want to be healthy and fit right now. I'm like, yeah, there's no real such thing as a health and fitness recovery program that's instantaneous and immediate, except for the things that you could be like, well, stop taking drugs. I mean, that's a good one. You could literally stop and your life is better from that moment on. But the health and performance stuff, you need to build up slowly over time. So I would take like probably anything I do now at this age. I would normally say take 2 weeks. I'm going to say take 2 months. So I want to try CrossFit. Great. Give it 2 months. 3 months. I'm going to try MMA. Perfect. Give it 2 or 3 months. Give this stuff some time to see how it feels so you can track your progress, so you can see if there's any progress, whatever at all, right? You want to, I mean, like Wodify allows us to do this. We can log everything. I know some of you guys don't. Some of you barely log into the gym. I wish you would, but hey, you're an adult. If you don't want to log in, that's totally fine. I get it. So this is funny. I make this joke all the time. Sometimes people, like when I would do surveys, they'd be like, hey, it'd be great if you had a second bathroom. I'm like, we do. That's so weird. So people don't, not only do they not give it enough time, they don't actually notice things until they want to notice it. So notice your efforts in your working out. So I had somebody at, I don't know, it was a morning class, and I was cleaning the bathroom and we were doing some sort of heavy lift. And they said, hey, when are you going to be out of the bathroom? I need to use it. And I was, doing my normal daily cleaning. I said, yeah, just give me a second. I said, you could also use the other bathroom. And he's like, what other bathroom? So I brought him over there. It's just funny. You don't know until you need to know. So if that door is always closed, which it is, I don't even think it's labeled. Why would you even know it's a bathroom unless it was open one time and you looked in, right? So it is possible to think there's only one bathroom in the gym. Just like you may not see the results just because you're not looking around and paying attention. So give yourself those 2 to 3 months to really scope out the land. Look for all the bathrooms. Look for all the notes and the stuff that's going on that people can take advantage of. What I'm thinking of as we go in, there's the board with all the stuff on it. What I probably should do is actually erase everything and say it's on this board. If it's not on this board, don't care about it. Actually, you know what? I am going to do that. Okay, so we talked about sleep earlier. Protect your sleep. Some of you don't sleep enough. I would give up food time to get more sleep time, but that's me. So it's part of how you eat, sleep, move, think, and connect. That's the 5 big things, right? So remember that. I think another thing that I would look at is, what does your future body say about you? Not your ego, but your body. And this is really tough. We've been doing in January some testing things. And so some of the dudes are like, yeah, and they're crushing it. And they're like, I'm going to lift even though it's going to hurt me. I'm like, don't do that. Don't lift for ego. Lift for your future body at 60 or 70. Like, what does it look like? I want to be able to squat all the way down. And when we were doing squats the other day, somebody said, man, no one's ever challenged me to squat to depth. I've never done this. My weight is so far beneath what I normally squat. But I realized I was only doing like a 3/4 squat. I'm like, yeah, this is health. I want to be able to squat to a low depth. I want to be able to get on and off the toilet by myself. This stuff is important. You want to aim for longevity, not for leaderboardness, right? Although leaderboard is kind of fun. I do like that there's 1 pound fights. That's great. It's in fun competition, right? Some of the morning people are like, I'm not going to post my numbers until later on the night so the afternoon people can't look and see what I did. I love it. Push each other. That's great. That might be a little over the top, but whatever. Do it. Okay. One last tip. If you've been listening, you know why I'm doing this. I have got a future event that I've cast out there. It is called the TNGA. Actually, maybe I should pull that bad boy up. I think it was only on Facebook is where I really found this one right here. The TNGA. So bike packers. So it's the Trans North Georgia Adventure, right? GA? I don't know what it stands for. I guess GA is just Georgia. Anyway, you ride from South Carolina through North Georgia to Alabama, or the other way around, depending on what year it is. And it's not a real race. That doesn't sound right. It's not a paid race. Everyone just shows up and does it. And I'm totally in. It's like you have 10 days to finish this 370-mile course. Some people do it in 3 days. Most people never finish. I just want to finish, and this is my thing. So what am I using CrossFit for? I'm using CrossFit for an event. I have a future-casted thing that I would like to do. My kids are trying to get a hold of me on this ice day. Yep, they heard me. They didn't want to come in and say hi on the podcast. So I have a future event that I'm going to do. Now, in that is primarily CrossFit as my training regimen, but I'm also adding in some bike races, I say races. I'm not racing at all. So I'm going to be, it's Mountain Goat. Mountain Goat is one of them. So this is Lisa Randall. She's a local. She's got a lot of cool events. Another one that I'm using is Warrior. So I love adventure racing. Pretty much all this I do is my future casted these races. It's adventure racing. They also have trail running. So I'm also using, I think it's Ultra. Yeah, Ultra Trail sign up. I'm using this to find some wooded trail runs. So all of this to build up to the big event right here because it sounds fun. Why not? But it gives me a goal and it makes me think, all right, I'm going to go do these events. Now, I know myself. I've said, Andy, just go out there and jog for 3 hours. I won't do it. I just don't like doing it. So I use that Ultra sign up to find local-ish races that are in the woods that I can go do. Weirdly, with a bunch of random people, I'm okay running with them. But by myself, I'm never going to do it. Also, the mountain biking, I tend to not want to bike long by myself, but I'll do it with other people. So anyway, I'm signing these things up. So if you could futurecast a race, a hike, a trip, I don't know, your grandkids, being useful doing something, the fitness survives when it serves a mission. So what is that mission? I mean, I have my ultimate why, but I also have yearly goals. This might be my goal for the next 2 or 3 years. We'll see, because doing these adventure races is, I don't know, it's pretty, I'm not going to say easy, but I feel like I'm overtrained for what I want to get out of them right now. I know myself well enough to go have the adventure I want, and my training level is the same, so I'm pretty good here. Okay, guys. Don't let January 26th, the ice day, be the day that you drop off the planet with your fitness. Keep it going. If you're like, Andy, I don't know what else to do. I can't do what you do. It's just too hard. I have free resources for you. One, if you go to my website, CrossFitGarage.com, you hover over gym info and you go to WOD, workout of the day. We always list the workout as a home version. So we got a home version right at the bottom here that I'm showing you if you're watching the screen. This is a YouTube podcast called Andy McCann. So if you go to @AndyMcCann42, you'll find the YouTube podcast, or Fitness, Food, and Finance is the actual audio podcast. But anyway, we've got that. If you're like, Andy, no, I want something different, I can't do that. Well, if you go hover over the same thing and then go to free resources or CrossFitGarage.com/free, I've got tons of free stuff for you. There's a downloadable called 30 CrossFit WODs, workouts of the day. Then there's another 30 CrossFit WODs. There's the Garage Fitness Online you can utilize. And there's the 60 Easy, which you can use that. I mean, that's a great easy way to get started. Back in the 2 weeks to flatten the curve, we have this 32 at-home workouts, which is very similar to the other ones I have up there. So there is stuff for you. Regaining mobility, right? Exercising at your desk. There's stuff for you. The excuse is yours. You just have to annihilate that. You have to stay on top, add some action every day. Don't worry about streaking, but know that it's going to happen every day. Put it in your calendar. Block it out and let it show up. All right, guys. Hey, this is Andy McCann. If you need help, my phone number and my email address is all over my website. Call me, text me, email me, whatever. I am happy to help, even if you're not a local. If you're a local, all the more so. But happy to help no matter who you are. Y'all take care.